Hello, everyone. Hey, Tessa. Y'all give me just a minute. I'm trying to do my Instagram over here. Give me a second. Hey there. How are you? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to do the video over here on the other side. Give me 1 second. Hey, everyone. Hello from Guam. Hello, just a minute, y'all. Give me 1 minute. I'm trying to set the camera up over here. Hey, Darlene. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Uno momento, por favor. Give me 1 minute. Hold on. Just a moment. Y'all give me a minute. I'm trying to set up the other camera. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, you guys. Hold on. Hold on. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Just a moment. Let me see what I have done here. Give me 1 second. All righty. 1 minute, you guys. Hold on, you guys. Trying to get the camera ready. Hold on a minute. Trying to do my other camera. Hold on, you guys. Hold on just a minute. Hold on. All right. So I can't seem to figure this out. Give me a second. Give me a second. All righty. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on a minute. I'm coming. All righty. Okay. All righty. There we go. Now I'm on. Hey, Jessica. Hey there. How are you guys doing? Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? I'm glad you're here to catch me live. Thank you so much. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for being here. Who did I miss? Let me say hello to everybody. Give me just a second. Let me say hello. All right, let's see. Who all did I miss here? Hi, Tessa. Hi, Faith. Hey, Jane. Hi, Karen. I was here last week. Hi, Yvette. Hi, Michelle. Oh, thank you. Hi, Jane. Chanel. How are you doing? Thank you so much. Hi, Dawn. Bado, how are you doing? Darlene from Guam. Jules, Stephanie, Lady K. Excuse me. Carol, Jamie. Hey, Stevie Bananas. How are you? Hi, Mona, Miss K, Riri. Tu es muy bonita. I don't speak Spanish, so I'm thinking that's a good thing. Hey, Rigga, how are you doing? Hey, Karen. Oh, thank you. Did I die? Child, I changed it out. Next week it'll be a different color. Let's see. Carol, Jamie, Mona, Miss K, Riri, Darlene, Mary, Glamorous, K, Cassie, Alex Zane. Hey there, from Utah. All right. Hi, Barbara, Nancy, Janetta. Let's see. Jay, Supernova. Let's see. Gigi, how are you? Andrea from Arizona. Okay. Hi, Deborah. Good evening to you too. Bado, I have no idea. Darlene, Giselle, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Corey from Virginia. Okay. Toya. Let's see. Hi, C. Cassidy. How are you? Tracy from Washington and Maryland. All right. Jill, how are you doing? Let's see. Keep going. Karma. Shayna. Hi, Shayna. Hi, Bree from Kansas. Okay. Tanya. I'm looking. Carissa. How are you, Miss Andrea? Gigi. Let's see. Dawn. Karen. Aloha from Honolulu. Mahalo. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Hi, James. How are you? Hey, James. How are you doing? How you doing, little brother? I hadn't seen you in like 8,000 years. How are you doing, sir? Good to see. Well, good to see your name. Jamaican Barbie. Okay, I see you. Let's see. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? Jesus girl Betty. Hey, just be real. How are you doing? What? You on time? What? Hey, Martha. Hi, Jamie. Muriel, Sanita. How are you doing? Oh, thank you so much. Hi, Bobby from Alabama. What part of Alabama, Bobby? What part of Alabama? What? Just be real here? Uh-oh. Let's see. Tanya, Andrea, let's see. Tiffany, Timothy. How you doing? Carissa, Lyd, Jamaica. I'm glad you're here too. Oh, thank you. Hey, Carol. That means you're beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Intro, you came on right. You needed me. Oh, thank you, Tanya. Phoenix City in the house. Okay. Oh, from Phoenix City, Alabama. Okay. Stephanie from Missouri. Okay. Flora, Felicia. Let me look. Laura. Let's see. Who else we got? Did I miss anybody? Erica. Tasha Marie. Hey, Tasha Marie from Saskatchewan, Canada. Okay. And Karen. I'm doing makeup while I listen. Go, girl. Whatever keep you busy. Ashley from Dallas. Okay. New Jersey. Ava. Thank you, April. I appreciate it. Thank you, Just Be Real. Sasha. Pinky. Let's see. Dolores from Mississippi. What part of Mississippi, Miss Dolores? And that's Audra Marie. How are you doing? Nubia. Hey, Miss Nubia. See, that coat you were wearing off the chain. You were the one I was talking about the other day. She can make some money off of her coats, y'all. Miss Nubia done made a coat. It was off the chain. You want to book a trip to Hawaii, but the quarantine. Yep. Let's see. Laura Parks, please don't advertise anything else on here, please. Don't advertise anything, okay? Let me know what you're going to advertise before you advertise it. Okay. You love you some? Oh, thank you, Letitia. How are you guys doing? Let's see. Washington in the house. Okay. Bonnie Magali. Let's see. Thank you, Just Be Real. Let me see. Monroe County. Okay. Okay, Monroe County. Okay. I used to live in Biloxi, Gulfport. Hey, Roxy from Kansas. Okay. Jennifer. Let's see. Jen. So I probably said hello to everybody by now, right? How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? It's so good to be here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Connie from Georgia. Okay, what part of Georgia, Connie? Thank you guys so much for being here. We got Facebook in the house. We got YouTube in the house. Thank you so much, Just Be Real. I appreciate that. North Carolina. Okay, and we got Instagram in the house. Thank you guys so much. You used to live in Gulfport too? Hey, what part of Gulfport? Were you over there toward the end, Red Ball? Were you over in Orange Grove? Were you closer to the water? Louisiana, okay. Auburn, Washington. You know what, Yolanda? Yolanda, we know where you at. Let's see. Miss me? I missed you? Where you from, Jen? Houston, Texas in the house. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Tennessee in the house. Okay. I'm doing good. New York City in the house. Okay. Volume too low. Well, come on over to Facebook then. Orange Grove. You know about Orange Grove? Orange Grove, all right. You know, I built it. I haven't been there in a few years, so Orange Grove, all right. DMV, in the DMV now? Okay. My dad and stepmom are back in the DMV now. Maryland in the house. Okay, that's where they're at, Maryland. Marlboro. Yep. Philly in the house. Okay. Well, you know, we only have a limited time over here on Instagram. You know, they only give me 1 hour on Instagram. Hey, Miss Bridget. But they only give me 1 hour over here on Instagram, so we have to get into it because I know you guys got question stuff. But I hope everybody's doing okay. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are going to be, I hope you guys registered for the Calling All Empaths, conference that's coming up next Saturday. Those of you that are empaths, thinky empaths, want to know what an empath is, you know, the best education that you can get is from a super empath. And so you guys go over there and make sure you register. And Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, best information to get is from one that has matured. So a lot of you guys are going through your different phases of empath, and you want to know what stage you are, what's going on, what's so different about you. You know what, Bridget. But you guys want to know about being an empath. The best person to teach you about being an empath is the empath themselves. And so you go over there to Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, and you can register on yourdestinyhelper.com and make sure that you guys register for the conference. I will be her guest. Yes. And I will be, oh, there goes Miss Demetria. I don't know which one you are. You be on all of them. Yes, you guys make sure you, the Calling All Empaths Conference. You did? Oh, absolutely. Awesome. It's a 4 hours. You have Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, and I will be there with her as a guest. And so I'll make sure you guys are there. Hey, Boot. The conference is going to be off the chain. Yep, the slots are filling up quick. Everyone, let's register soon. Absolutely. Yes, you can still register. Yes, I think Tasha, registration ends on Friday, right? And it's from 10 to 2 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. I'm over here. Tasha just traveling. Yeah, so the registration closes on Friday, so you got to make sure you guys get a slot. This will not be recorded. This will not be on YouTube. This is a Zoom only conference, so you guys make sure you signed up. Yay! So this is a Zoom only conference, so you guys make sure you sign up for that conference, and it's an $80 fee. So you make sure you guys sign up for that conference. You don't want to miss it. You need to know who you are and what you are. You need to know who you are and what you are. You need to know who you are and what you are. All right. Well, you guys are ready? You guys are ready? So if my moderators would please give me, I miss, is it Ann Anderson? Hey there. So if you guys will give me 45 minutes, give me 45 minutes, okay? You just coming on, Jessica. You just coming on. You didn't miss anything yet. I was just giving everybody my salutations. So give everybody my salutations. You go? She said go. I wanted to know if you've heard of coercive control clause that's been added to what's considered domestic violence in Hawaii. I have no idea what that is. I have to go look that up. I have no idea what that is, Michelle. I would have to go research that. Yeah, it's a Zoom conference. Ever since I've been watching your video keeps me strong. Thank you so much. Thank you, Latasha. Can you advise on how to deal with a narc in the workplace? Absolutely. Just give me an email and I will give you my coaching fees and I will give you all the advice that you want. Some things are coaching and some things is general information. But that is a personal one-on-one type of advice giving. Sorry, you guys, I broke my nail. Sorry. Oh, thank you so much, Chanel. I appreciate you. So wish they had coercive control here. Glad Hawaii has started. So obviously it's a good thing. I'm going to go research that, Michelle, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what that is because I've never heard of the law here. So that's a law, I guess, that's getting passed there. So I'm going to go look that up and see what that is, okay? I'm going to go look that up. Let's see. I just finished watching your videos on why the narc marries after the ex told me he got engaged today to the new supply. Yep, that's what they do. Jump right back in there and get another supply. Hey, Miss Yolanda Jones. Can you talk about state of fear? Never seen no one talk about it. State of fear. What exactly in the state of fear do you want me to talk about? You got to elaborate. Elaborate so I know what you're asking me to talk about. Jamaican Barbie said, hi, my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, and my friend planned to kill me last year, October 25th. And they ghost me after a lot of hoovers, but I chased them away and they ghost. Do you think they coming back? They might. They might if they're not through with you yet. I'm doing good. How you doing? They might come back. Why they have to tell they're getting remarried? Who cares? Well, they do that to get a reaction from you because they're trying to hurt you. So they're trying to hurt you. So they want a reaction from you. Giselle said, what is the difference between speaking your truth, your story, versus when the narc says you're gossiping? Oh, narc is probably gossiping. You know, they don't do anything but confuse you anyway. So you telling your truth, that's not gossiping. That's called gaslighting. They're gaslighting you so you won't tell your truth. Oh, thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate you. Litor say, hey, Dr. Carmen, this is Susie. Thank you so much. Hope you and yours are well. Thank you so much. What does the term mean? Push and pull. Push and pull. You got to use it in a sentence. You got to, yeah, projecting. Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. Absolutely. I'm 6 months, no contact. I'm proud of you, Yolanda. That's my girl. I'm proud of you. I need to call you, find out what done happened with that situation. Why do they keep you away from friends and family? It's called isolation. It's a part of the domestic violence, the power of control, the power and control cycle. They keep you so that they can give you, they want to be the only person. They isolate you because they want to be the only person that gives you truth, their truth, so that you believe no one but them. So they isolate you from family and friends, number one, because people will give you the truth of your situation. But the longer they isolate you and get you away from everybody, the more dependent you become on them. So they isolate you. Could you talk about my tendencies? Could you talk about my tendencies of lurking on my ex's social media and being hurt by negative comments about me? Well, I can't talk about you, but I can, because I don't know your story. But in general, I think I did a video about that, about the fact that, when you're breaking up with a narcissist, most people, you stalking their Facebook page because you want to know what's going on. You want to know who the new supply is. You want to know whether they care about you more than care about them more than they care about you. But what's happening is they know for a fact that you're watching. And even, they're so bold to assume that, hey, Dad, hey, Pop. But, they're so confident that you're looking at it, even when you're not looking at it, looking at their Facebook pages or their social medias, that everything they do on there is for the purpose of you seeing it or somebody telling you about it, so it hurts you even more. That's the whole point, to hurt you even more. Please do. Thank you. I'd love to hear your take on the Coercive Control Act. It was just passed September in Hawaii. For real, it expands the current definition of domestic violence, making things like controlling finances, isolation, legally fall under the umbrella of domestic violence. I think it's a great start. Yes, honey, yes. That's what we need over here. And I was about to say the U.S., like you in a whole different country. But that's exactly, if they've expanded that, that's something that they need to pass here in all states. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to go check that out, Michelle. Absolutely. That's something that they need in all states. Hold on. Let me go back over here. Are narcs scared of super empaths when they go silent, like they fell off the earth? No. Narcs are bold, unless you cause a severe narc injury, and they still try to go back and you got to remember, narcs have this thing, I call it liquid courage. Narcs, they think they're superhuman, so they don't. You go silent on them, number one, they'll want to know why. If they're the type of person that goes silent on you, and then you turn around and go silent on them, it confuses them. It may cause an injury because they can't believe, how dare you stop talking to me out of all people, and then they pursue to see like what's going on. But I mean, for you to go silent on a narcissist, they're either going to try to hoover you, try to pull you back, try to find out why you're going silent. But, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're afraid. No, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're afraid. My ex-narc seems to have ghosted. Is the not normal? His mother still stalks my social media, though. He probably ghosted because he's hoovering, he's love bombing someone else. That's probably what they're doing. They're probably love bombing someone else. And so all that energy they put out to love bomb someone else, they can't put energy out in you and another supply. They only got energy for so. Remember that a narcissist needs fuel, so they seek supply to get fuel. So that's all. It's all about them, all about them, all about them, all about them. Now, when they start pursuing a supply or a new supply, they're exerting a lot of energy. They're exerting a lot of fuel. So they're emptying out while they're pursuing this person. That's why it becomes personal. Whatever they put out in you, whether it's money, energy, and everything, oh, you're going to pay it back. Oh, you will pay it back. Nothing to a narcissist is free. And sometimes because it's taking so much energy to try to pull that new supply in, they got to go refuel, so they'll hoover you because you were the last supply and you were probably a pretty good supply. So they'll go hoover you to try to get some fuel from you so they can go back and keep on trying to pull this new supply. Once they have this new supply, oh, trust me, there's nothing that is free. Everything is done for an ulterior motive, and everything will be paid back. Whether it's finances, whether it's time, whether it's energy, that new supply is going to pay the price. Don't ever think that that new supply has it better than you, because you remember at one point in time, it was you. You were happy. You were enjoying life. It was so wonderful. They love you. So whoever that old supply was probably looking at you to figure out whether that narcissist loved you more than they loved them. But you just happen to be the new toy, that new leather smell. And so you were the new leather smell. Then when they wore you out. They got their butt got rested in that seat. And, and they got tired, they got bored with you. They go look for some more supply, some new supply. They need some more supply. And usually, see, when you say good supply or primary supply, good supply means that they have molded you to a point where you can withstand the highest levels of abuse. The primary supply is the most abused person out of all the secondary supplies and all the supplies. So when you're saying good supply and they're together for a long time, that new supply, that primary supply is the one that takes the most beatings, that takes the most psychological abuse. Think about it when you guys were the primary supplies. Before you got out, you took the most abuse. You took the most psychological abuse. You took the most physical abuse. You were mistreated. You were treated like a dog. And at the same time, it was that love bombing, because if you were always treated like a dog and there was nothing good about them, because it goes back, that's that trauma bonding. So, they're going to mistreat you and everything. You take the most abuse. They've molded you, but then they'll do something wonderful, buy you something, give you a flower, and it's just all wonderful. They throw you a tidbit, and it's the most wonderful thing, because you've been beaten up so much, and it's mentally beaten up or physically beaten up. Anything, somebody throw you a little rice cake, it's the most beautiful rice cake in the whole world. The common person will look at you like, really? That's how, for real? You get a little piece of rice and you're so grateful and so happy. That's how they have you. They want you to feel so grateful that they have graced you with their presence, their love, their sex, their conversation, their smile, a vacation, or anything. But you are always going to pay the price. What is the price that you're paying to stay in that relationship? M.A. said he drained me of all energy I had and my hair fell out. That right there is signs of stress. That is signs of stress. You're stressing. You're stressing. The new supply is recycled from the past. Is there an actual difference between recycled old or new? Well, that's what it is. Recycled supply, and the recycled supply then becomes a new supply again. But they don't went backwards because they needed some fuel. So they can, it's almost like starting at remember you used to play tag, you're it, but then when you run to the wall, that's base. So they run back to base so they can go out and find some more supply. And then when they start draining, they run back to base, touch base again. They got to resupply. It sounds humorous and it sounds scientific. Then it sounds like a horror movie. But all this is what you guys are experiencing, what you guys have been through. Hey, Dana, how are you? But this is exactly what you guys have been through. Can't understand why I still feel sorry for the ex. After all his ploys to destroy me, literally tried to kill and destroy everything that was good to me and for me. Because you're a human being and you cared about someone. Just because, let me tell you something, because of the fact that you were in a relationship with a narcissist doesn't mean that you change your character and who you are. If, for example, a lot of you have changed your character. A lot of you guys have changed because of the fact that you were a narcissist. So you start doing the same thing that narcissist started to do. You started to fight the same way they started to fight. I gave an example one time of a lady who was in a narcissistic relationship and married. And, she was getting ready to move out and everything, but she wanted to maintain regularity or some type of, maintain some type of normalcy prior to, so there were certain things that she did in the family. She cooked, she cleaned, she did all that. And I had to tell her, I said, these are the things that you do. That is your character. That's the person that you are. Just because that narcissist acts a fool while you're on the way out the door, it doesn't mean that you change your character. You continue doing everything that you do, knowing that as you're leaving and exiting, you've done everything that you were supposed to do as a wife. I'm talking to the wife at the time. But you've done everything that you were supposed to do as a wife, even to the very end. You never change your character, because a lot of you change your character so you get into a new relationship with someone, and that is what you're accustomed to. So when you get angry and you hurt, you stop doing what you're doing. But it is your character. That is your nature. That is what you do. So don't change your character for nobody. If you need to leave, leave. And you leave, but don't change your character because you have been hurt and bruised by a narcissist. That's why many people jump into relationships too quick, but your whole character has changed. You're not even the person, you're not even the person that you used to be at one time, because you're in survival mode all the time. You are in survival mode. Okay, I don't know what you're asking. All right. Let's see. Jennifer said, I want to leave, but he is threatening court, saying I owe him money, but have bank statements where I paid bills plus VMO records of giving him money. We are not married. I don't know what to do. He's awful. You get a lawyer, Jennifer. If you got records and you got proof, you got to remember, when you're exiting, when you're getting ready to leave a relationship with a narcissist, they would throw in any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Sabotage. They try to do anything to sabotage you. Thank you so much, Nubia. Thank you so much. But they'll do anything to try to sabotage you. They'll threaten you. And the one thing that they know is that if they can manipulate you with fear, if they, just like my mentor said, if I can change your thoughts, change your mind, I can change your response or your reactions. I think that's what she said. But if they can intimidate you with fear, if they can get you afraid, there's a lot of things that you won't do. But if I can encourage you, and if I can talk to you and change the way that you're thinking, it'll change the way that you respond. Not react, respond. I can get you to respond. And they use fear. Fear of taking you to court, fear of taking your children, fear of calling you crazy or making people believe you're crazy. Fear is the weapon that they use against you. Fear is the weapon that you use. And what I tell you guys is always go and speak to a lawyer concerning legal affairs. You got to go to Carmen, you got to go to counseling, but always go and talk to someone, a legal representative, a lawyer, and get information in reference to what are your rights and what they can and cannot do. A lot of them, you'll find out, throw stuff out there and you're afraid. And then when you talk to a lawyer, you find out you had no reason to be afraid in the first place. And you'd be surprised. You get a lawyer that understands domestic violence and stuff like that. You'd be surprised at how much injury you cause to a narcissist and how they've caused you to be afraid. It's just like, remember the Wizard of Oz, and when that big sheet fell and then they saw that big head man behind the sheets and he was more afraid. He had portrayed and projected himself as this fearless and scary almighty Oz. But when that screen fell over and it was that little guy standing behind that screen, he was scared and timid. That's how a narcissist is. They're behind this big screen and they're actually scared and timid. But the way that they keep control of you is by always intimidating you, by always implementing fear. So most people live in fear. But like I see here, pipsqueak, but find your good lawyer, talk to a lawyer, talk to a domestic violence advocate. Miss Bridget Griffin is a legal advocate in the YWCA here in King County. And she's an advocate. She's what they call her, she's a pit bull. She's what did Bishop Jakes call the ladies? He called them a beast. She's a beast, and she knows what she's doing. She knows if you listen to her, she'll maneuver you through that court system because she deals with narcissists all the time. She wants the domestic violence all the time. And with the knowledge that she has, she helps people maneuver through the courtroom. So if you find a good advocate, a good legal advocate, representatives in the domestic violence program, you will be surprised. You will be surprised. You will be surprised how afraid they really are, but then there are some that are straight crazy. Some of them are psychopaths and sociopaths, and they have no problem at taking you to the edge, So basically, if a narc posts stuff on social media knowing I'm watching, why is there purpose if there are the ones who discarded me and she paints it like I did her wrong? She brags how happy she is because of the fact it's affecting you, and it's affecting you right now. And that's exactly what they do. That's the whole purpose. Exactly how you feel is exactly what her whole point. That was her whole goal. And that's exactly what's happening. A narcopath. You feel heartbroken. Okay, let's see. Yes, they scare you in court. Absolutely. It's hard to see my son in this situation. I can't do anything about it. Any advice? Well, that's a personal situation. You would have to set up an appointment with me so I can understand your situation. Thank you so much, Karen. Okay. Janetta said, it's very time-based. If you need help now, get a lawyer now. Don't wait. They look at me crazy for something only 6 months ago. Right. I've done the court and all I did remain calm. They hate when you... Absolutely, because the whole thing is they want a reaction out of you. They want a reaction. They want a reaction. They want you to react, not to respond. If you maintain your calm, and sometimes you have to pull back, if they want you to, let me backtrack. The one thing they want you to do is they want you to react. When you remain calm, and what they do, even though it may affect you internally, but when you don't react to it, it confuses them because they live off of your emotions. They live off of your reaction. They need to know how you react so they'll know what level. A lot of times it's almost like they come around to check to see where you at and if they can still come into the door. And all of a sudden you switch and you gray rock and you give them nothing. They don't know where you are. It's like watching like a sci-fi movie. Like, you see, I don't know if it was Riddick or whatever, where you've got these creatures in the dark that they only go by, infrared. They go by body heat and noise. And so these narcissists, they're going by what your expressions are, your reactions. What are you doing? What are you saying? What are your habits? And they watch that. And when you switch things up and you gray rock, and you don't react, they're confused. Like, okay, is this working or not? And they'll pull out all stops, gray rock. But they pull out all stops to see where you are. And they're elevated and then they're upset because you're not reacting. But that lets you know that you're growing. And sometimes they come around, I'm telling you, a lot of times it's like it's a measure to figure out where you are. You're figuring out where you are. Oh, I'm not reacting like I used to. That means you grew. Every day is another day for you. Every day you are growing. Everything is competition to them and about control. I discarded you and I'm going to remind you that I won. Yes, absolutely. And think about it. My mentor just said it today. If a person has to compete with you, that means that they have a problem with, what's the word I'm looking for? They have a problem with, what did she say? She said when a person has to compete, they have a problem with their old sense of, not sense of worth, not sense of security, but they lack, what's the word that she used? I'll think of it in a minute. Miss Yolanda, I know you were listening. Not inferiority, but a person that's very competitive is a person that has a problem with, they're insecure. That's what she said. Absolutely. I'm saying insecurity. Yeah, that's what it is. A person that has to compete with you all the time they're insecure. They have a problem with their own security. So if they're constantly, think about it, a narcissist is constantly competing. They're always competing. That lets you know if a person has to compete like that with you all the time about everything, the house that you buy, the cars you drive, the fact that you left, they discarded or you discarded, you're living life. So they got to live life better than you. They got to have a bigger house, a nicer car. They got to show you their jewelry. They got to post stuff they constantly got to post stuff on Facebook so you'll see it. If they constantly have to do that, it's like, why are you doing it? Because they're insecure. A narcissist is insecure. The way that they portray themselves, whether normally it's a somatic narcissist, the way that they portray themselves, or even a cerebral narcissist, the way that they portray themselves, the way that they show the world, that they're so wonderful, they're grandiose, they have this, I got all this, is because they're superficial and they're covering up their insecurities. Yes, they're very insecure. Why do I feel okay now, but as soon as I go into the area where he worked and I start to have an anxiety attack? Probably you got some post-traumatic stress, some post-traumatic stress. What happened in that area? You got to think about it. God showed me about 2 years ago what a narc was. I had met this guy who fit the bill, and I started watching YouTube videos, and this subject, he was textbook narc. He still be trying to call me. Yeah, that sounds about like him. Yeah. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much. I cursed out my stepdad after talking years of taking years of silent mental abuse, and he kicked me out and played victim, saying, I can't believe he said that to me. He says hello to our pet dogs, but not me. Why? He's a narcissist. That's what they do. He wants a reaction. He wants to hurt you. That's what they do. That is their nature. Yeah, that is their nature. Yeah, that is your nature. I mean, that is their nature. That's what they do. Carmen need to put up a camera and catch him. And the point is, are you trying to get them in trouble? Are you trying to report them to the police? Are they doing something to harass you? Other than that, what's the point? Yeah, they're miserable, empty shells. Yep. Because of childhood injuries, I hear the narcs are stunted at the emotional age that they were slighted. Yep. Yep. Because remember, narcissistic personality disorder begins development in childhood. Usually the ones that I have met, something traumatic has happened, whether it's physical abuse, sexual abuse, abandonment, rejection issues, or they may have been raised by a narcissistic parent. If they're raised by a narcissistic parent, don't think for a minute because they're a golden child. A lot of times a golden child will turn into a narcissist because they're being groomed by the narcissist. And that golden child is being groomed, and that narcissist sees themselves in that golden child. So they put their thoughts, they project their thoughts, their behaviors. They are living vicariously through this golden child. The golden child cannot do anything without the approval of the narcissist, because they're afraid that they're not going to be loved by this narcissist anymore. Then you got that scapegoat. The scapegoat is also always being beat up, always being blamed for something, because that scapegoat is normally the one that points out the pink elephant in the room. The scapegoat is the one that usually just tells it like it is. Let them, they're the ones that are troublemakers. They're the ones that get in trouble in school, always in trouble at the house, because that narcissist is projecting himself or herself onto that scapegoat. That scapegoat is the one that tell the business. That scapegoat is the one to point you out. That scapegoat is going to clash and bump heads with that narcissist. And so, but a lot of them develop. So a lot of times they develop narcissistic personality disorder. Or you have that child that was treated like the king and queen of the house. They were treated like, that they're entitled. They're being told that you are entitled, you are beautiful, and people need to serve you. And a lot of times the narcissistic parents do that, and the beautiful child, and you can have whatever you want to. So they're being groomed, and then they end up clicking because it's too much pressure, and then they end up developing narcissistic personality disorder. But it starts in childhood. Now, most of your teenagers and young people, that is a normal process development, and you think that your teens or your kids are narcissists, but you can tell that there's a difference. There's something different. Thank you so much. But you can tell that there's something different about them. There's something that goes because it's like they can't really connect with people. They can't really bond. It's like they're distant. They can't really bond. They all of a sudden you see them starting to, they get pleasure out of seeing people hurt, or they get pleasure out of seeing you hurt, but you'll see it slowly. But sometimes you dismiss it because you're a parent. And so because you dismiss it because you're a parent, you just can't imagine, that child, there's no possible way that my child could be narcissistic. But you can see they're like little red flags as they're growing up. And some of you do have children that are not adult children that have narcissistic personality disorder, and they fit the videos that I record. They fit the bill. They fit the description of a narcissist. And then a lot of you beat yourself up. A lot of you are beating yourself up because it's my fault. It's my fault. If I wouldn't have, and I wouldn't have. Everything is not your fault. There was another parent involved or not involved. Everything is not your fault. And stop beating yourself up. You did the best that you can do with the knowledge that you had. You did not have this type of knowledge back when your children were younger. So you can't change something you don't know anything about. If I stunk yesterday, I didn't know, but I know today because hopefully somebody told me. So today I'm going to wear more deodorant and buy better deodorant. And I'm just using that as an example. But, if you don't know something, you can't beat yourself up. There's nothing that you can do to change the past. The past is the past, and you can't beat yourself up. They're adults now. Hello, I heard that a narc do voodoo and cast spells on their victims. What do you think? Some of them do. Not all of them, but some of them do. How can I take precautions to know if my narc co-parenting abuses my 2-year-old child physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually? You need to get counseling. You need to go to counseling, because that type of information is kind of hard for me to give you over a live. That right there, you might need to go into counseling, and you might need to go get a lawyer and an advocate, because I won't be able to give you any advice over a live video. That you need to make an appointment. You need to make an appointment with a counselor and get your kids in counseling. And you need to make an appointment with a lawyer, and you need to make an appointment with an advocate. I had a dream that a dog was chasing me right after I met him, and I looked up when the dream met. I said someone is being deceptive. Okay. Hey, Tasha, how you doing? It's my girl, my friend for over 30 years. Me and her used to be cheering together. My ex-mother-in-law and her parents are completely narcissistic. That's when I woke up to the fact and was constantly manipulated by families. I realized where his narcissistic personality came from. He's constantly rejected and babied back and forth by his parents. It took me a while after leaving my marriage to realize how his mother abused me and manipulated me to stay with her son despite all the abuse. Yup, that's what they do. Was into black magic? Okay. Some of them are. Yeah, some of them are. Friends to the end. Wow, I was waiting for you to say Heidi ho, ha ha ha. Okay, Chucky. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate you. Thank you, MA Peace. I appreciate you. Hey, Alexis, how are you? MPD and alienation were kept secret. Never heard about these issues before 2 years ago. Yup, and that's exact. They gave it a name. Made sense, didn't it? Now that I know about narcissism, I now have my children listen to some of the videos. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Leonie. Is it Leonie? Thank you so much. How do you heal from narcissistic abuse from an adult child? Getting a counseling. You need to get into some counseling, Tamar. You need to get into some counseling. I want to cry out loud is tough. I believe it. Do they typically get mad whenever you ask them questions? My ex used to go off on me when I asked simple questions. What time are you coming home? Because he was doing wrong. Come on, why would you get mad if you're not doing anything wrong? If you're doing wrong and you think you're going to get caught up, when you do wrong, you got a guilty conscience. Well, they don't really have a guilty conscience. They just don't want you out of their business. So when they're doing something that they feel is none of your business, of course, absolutely, they're going to go off. Does a mother deal with this and think this is normal? No. Well, some don't know what it is. Some don't know what it is, and they make excuses. Little Johnny is just like that. You have to be patient with him. He had a hard life. She becomes an enabler. So some parents become enablers. What's up with narcs and music? He would always play a certain song every time we hang out. That's a part of the seduction process. That's a part of that love bombing or the hoovering. They use smells, they use music, they use sounds, they use visuals, all to pull you back in to stimulate those emotions. And then you get all soft and, oh my gosh, that's our song, boo. That's our song. That's what when we met, and that's like a seduction. That's what they use to pull you in. Do the old bag male narcs rely on their daughters for supply? I'm not too sure about that question. I'm unclear about that question. Do most narcissist victims need counseling? It's been 10 years and still sometimes I think about what narcissist... Absolutely. I always recommend... I always play Sade. Is that wrong? With Stevie Bananas, did you play Sade while you were with that person? If you play Sade while you were with the person, all it does is trigger up memory. It just triggers memories and feelings. But yeah, I always recommend counseling before you even do coaching. Always do counseling first before you go find a coach. Always, especially after coming this type of trauma that you come out of, always go counseling first before you go coaching. Someone I used to talk to is spreading rumors about me at work and ignoring me, even sent me inappropriate messages that then blocked me. I've been ignoring him. Okay, good job. Do empires find that they're that they've attracted multiple narcs? Good question to ask at the conference. Good question to ask at the conference. It's smart to have an advocate, even if I already have a lawyer. I would talk to an advocate. I sure would. I would get an advocate. I sure would. Hi, Silky Alice. How are you? Let's see. Still can't listen to some songs without getting ill. See? What about intimidating, threatening movies? That's a message for you. Intimidating and threatening movies, that's a message to you. Alexis said, I really appreciate you giving these live talks, then giving me hope. And I'm so glad I found this group, because after my narc, I didn't know what I was going to do. Well, we're glad to have you here. We're glad to have you here in this tribe. And these are some awesome people that are in this tribe. Trust me. I sure have attracted mostly narcs, no more from here. Yep. Hey, from the UK. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. They cause me so much discomfort. They do. I told him I didn't, hold on. I told him I didn't like types of movies and imagery, and he would get mad at me that I didn't want to watch the stuff because he was using that to trigger you. He was using that to cause a reaction. And there's a message behind it. Everything that they do has an ulterior motive. Everything they do it intentionally. They do it for a reason. There's nothing that they just do to just be doing it. I just bought you this because I thought about you. There's no such thing. Even if they say it, there's no such thing. They don't just do things just out of the blue. Everything they do it for a reason, and it's intentional. There's a purpose behind it. Can narcs be delivered? If they want to be. How many narcs do you know have been delivered? I haven't met any. I haven't met any. That's a personal choice. You can pray for a narc all you want to, but it's a personal choice to have to admit, think about it, to have to admit that they are the way that they are and that they have done wrong, and that they need help. You know, why would they pray when they think that they're a God themselves? And number two, they did no wrong. It's always your fault. So how can you be delivered, or how can you ask for forgiveness if you don't believe that you need forgiveness because there's nothing that I'm doing wrong, because this is your fault? Thank you, Dr. Karma, for helping us male victims of narc abuse from women. It was giving me hope. I'm glad. But you really, really need to get into some counseling. You really need, if you need an advocate, you need a lawyer, you know, you need somebody that's going to help you, that knows legal terminology, that understands abuse, period, because it is abuse, period. And I know a lot of times when it comes to men, it's hard because most, 11, okay, leave me alone, just be real. But a lot of times, you know, it's hard, especially for men, because most men do not believe. I mean, most people, you know, are appalled to assume that you would say that a woman can abuse you. How a woman abuse a man? That's just not possible. Men are abused by narcissistic women all the time. You know, men are abused by narcissistic women all the time. Now, sometimes it is physical. I have seen it. I have seen physical. And sometimes it is dealing in the court system. They abuse you. I mean, they abuse you, then they accuse you of being the abuser. They set you up. You know, thank you so much. They set you up where you it shows as if you are the one that's abusing them. They're jumping on them, and you put their hands to push them off. All of a sudden, they fall down, and they're just super dramatic, you know. And a lot of females end up being like not vulnerable narcissists, but they're the type. Well, some of them are vulnerable narcissists. You know, they're so pitiful, and I'm always done wrong, and this is what has happened, but they don't tell how awful they are to men. You know, but they're always the victim. There's always something happened to me. There's always, you know, they're always, but they don't tell their part. You see what I mean? And so men are and then some men have been abused by their mothers. You know, they have paid the price for every man that has hurt their mother. And so the mother in turn, you know, abuses that son. And then there are some sons, and I'm talking about men right now, but you know, there are some sons that were actually sexually molested by their mothers, believe it or not. As gross as that is, they were groomed and they were molested by their mothers or their aunts, yes, or sisters, you know. And so, you know, a lot of time men, you know, most men are not going to talk about the sexual abuse that they experience, you know, because it's embarrassing. They feel emasculated. They feel like you're not going to believe me. If I tried to tell you the story, it's embarrassing. It takes away from my manhood. And so you have to believe it. Men get abused too. You know what I mean? Men get abused too. I cannot just jump into a relationship overnight. Fully vet these jokers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Your mom used to pull your hair. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Stevie Bananas. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Mine yells at the TV calling women horrible names. Is this really directed at me? It somehow feels like it. If it feels like it's directed at you, a lot of times it could be directed at you and every other woman. Because that's how they think about women. A lot of male narcissists do not have any respect for females, period. You serve a purpose. We serve a purpose. You say, oh, Stevie. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yep, that's what I heard, Lady T. Okay, maybe I'm not ready. You got me second guessing. Maybe I'm one myself. How would I know? Counseling, go to counseling. Go to counseling. And you'll find out. Or I got over 300 videos. And by the time you through watching all 300 of my videos, I guarantee you'll determine whether you are or not a narcissist. Yeah, you'll determine that. Oh, thank you so much, Silky. Alice, Silky Alice or Silky Alice? I'm sorry, I'm messing that up. I'm sorry. My ex uses her sons as husbands, will not allow them to leave home. Isn't that terrible? Yeah, isn't that terrible? That is horrible. I need a counselor that has experience with empathy. Is there a network? Yes. BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen will get you a discounted rate and you can vet them. Don't ask them if they're a narc specialist. Ask them if they understand domestic violence and then give them the definition. You know, do you understand PTSD? Do you understand parental alienation? Do you understand psychological abuse? Ask those type of questions. Kelly said, I work in the mental health field and I teach groups on abuse. Many are calling their abusers narcs lately, but how do you address this when there are traits versus the true diagnosis? I try to explain the differences. Ms. Kelly, you can look through some of my videos. You're welcome to show them some of the videos to give them an idea. And you are absolutely right. Everybody all of a sudden is a narcissist. You know, most people just call everybody narcissist. And sometimes, believe it or not, especially in the mental health field, since you understand, a lot of times in the mental health field, you have people calling people a narcissist and they end up being the narcissist. And then number two, that word has been thrown around sometimes, and believe it or not, sometimes a woman is upset. Now, I'm just talking about the women in general. I'm just saying in general as an example. Sometimes the women are upset because, you know, like, for example, those that have like borderline personality disorder, sometimes they're uncontrollable. They're just all over the place. They're just moody. Sometimes I want to kick them out of my office. But if this is what they're like with you, imagine what they're like at home. So whether that person is a narcissist or not, maybe they have discarded them. Maybe they don't want to have anything to do with them. Then all of a sudden that person is a narcissist. So many people are using that term narcissist, and the person that they're dealing with is not, may have narcissistic traits, but is not a narcissist. Or they don't want to deal with them and they left, so all of a sudden they're a narcissist. Or a lot of times what I run into, you got two narcissists together and each one of them calling each other a narcissist. So you are right, but I do have a lot of videos. You go through the videos, you can choose and pick, pick and choose, and then let them go through it, or you go through it and determine, okay, this would be a good one to distinguish the difference. And then I can go through, I can do another video. I can do another video where narcissistic traits versus narcissism. You know that out of the 9 traits in the DSM-5, usually they fit 5 out of 9. Some of them have all 9, but some of them, in order to have a true diagnosis, they've got to have 5 out of 9 of the traits, which classifies them clinically as having narcissistic personality disorder. And then some people are just selfish. Some people are just self-centered. Some people, some haven't grown up. They're still playing games. But I might be able to make a video. I can go make a video to talk about traits versus the actual diagnosis. But you can look through my videos and you're welcome to show those videos as well to give them an example of, or hear me talk about it. Hopefully that helped, Miss Kelly. And I commend you for the work that you do, because I know it's hard. I'm gonna tell you, and it is exhausting. It is exhausting. Thank you so much, Teresa. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Miss Teresa Simmons, how you doing? Thank you so much. They used the, I've been called a narcissist too. I was like, really? Some split bipolar and narcissism, that grandiosity and delusions are real. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Hey there, Maisha. How are you? Okay. I'm not sure what that meant, but okay. Just escaped 33 years. Dangerous narc. Was the first responder. Found myself confused and depressed. Keep watching daily. Praying what? Yeah. Yep. I always got you. You. I always got you. Oh, yeah. It's always your fault. It's always your fault. It's always going to be your fault. Let's see. I'm able to do narcissistic practice easily, but it's not who I am, but sometimes necessary for survival. So sad. Well, that means you change your character. You got to go back and be who you are. You got to be who you are. You change your character because of them. You change your character because of them. You got to go back and be you. Sometimes that's hard because you lost yourself. Extremely exhausting. The stress caused me to suffer a stroke and blacking out and autoimmune malfunction. I talked about that too on one of my videos, where they physically could make you sick. Your immune system is compromised dealing with them because you're constantly in the fight, flight, or freeze mode. Constantly. Well, hey there from Canada. Thank you so much. But you're constantly in fight, flight, or freeze. And when your adrenaline is pumping like that, remember, your adrenaline pumps for a reason, because your adrenaline is letting your body know we're getting ready to do something. We're going to fight, we're going to flight, we're going to run, or we're going to freeze because I'm in fear. But that adrenaline is pumping, and what happens is it slows down pumping blood and oxygen, all that, to your major organs to protect you, by giving the rest of your organs, the rest, like your limbs, your arms, is giving it extra strength or extra juices, let's put it that way, in order for you to do something, and to do it fast or do it hard. But if it's constantly pumping, what ends up happening is eventually it's going to start destroying some major organs. You're going to start having migraines, nerve issues, back issues, disc problems, stomach problems. A lot of you have ulcers, indigestion, GERD. Some of you start having joint issues, your eyesight problems, eating problems. Some of you overeat. Some of you have autoimmune problems. Some of you end up having, what else is that? I'm not going to say lupus, I'm not sure, but, inflammatory problems. Some of you, back and forth, you have Crohn's disease, IBS, all sorts of stuff, loss of hair, absolutely, because you're stressed. How do you expect that much adrenaline is pumping into your body constantly? You don't think your organs are going to be affected? You don't think your diabetes getting worse? There you go, diabetes. You got all these major issues, respiratory problems, cancer, absolutely. And believe it or not, I talked to a cancer survivor. She had a double mastectomy, and the oncologist that she worked for, that worked with her, the oncologist was also a researcher. And one, fibromyalgia, absolutely. Multiple sclerosis, yep, migraines. But that researcher, that oncologist said, I can tell you now, because she's in a severe situation with a narcissist. He said, I can tell you right now, the stress level and the abuse that you go through at home, and the fact that you're constantly fight, flight, or freeze, is affecting your health. And because of the fact that you have no cancer within your family, you're the first one to get cancer. He said, I can almost guarantee it is because of the lifestyle, because you live in constant abuse, and your fight, flight, or freeze, your adrenaline is constantly pumping. And he said that I guarantee you probably could have prevented this had you not been in that situation. And so her health is constantly at risk, always at risk for cancer. No one in her family ever had cancer. Nina, I'm so sorry. I hope did you get them reconstructed again? You get them reconstructed? But see, so a lot of you guys your edges haven't come back yet. I was always stressed, see, girl. But see, when your edges come back, you're getting right. But some of you guys have to take in consideration, how much are you paying to be in this relationship? How much are you paying to be in this relationship? How much are you giving up? How much, what is the price that you're paying? What is the price that your health is paying? You see what I mean? What is the price that your health is paying? Decided against reconstruction? Okay, but that's all right. You still sexy with or without them. It don't even matter. Time? Okay. Eating problems, stress, anxiety, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Tasha. I appreciate you. Thank you. Stress, yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. Stress can suppress your immune system, absolutely. And once your immune system is suppressed and affected, it affects the rest of your body. Your body cannot fight diseases like it's supposed to. The common cold, it cannot fight. Do you know that your body is supposed to be able to fight cancer cells in your body? And when your immune system is suppressed, it cannot fight cancerous cells in your body. It cannot fight diseases. You see what I mean? Hello, Dr. Carmen. What kind of help should a therapist offer for PTSD? I've already tried a few, but there is not much help. Well, it's hard to find a good therapist. Some of them are good when it comes to, staying focused, clinically staying focused, and you take out the principles of what they're teaching you. But you just have to go read up on them. Read up on them and see what, because I don't know how to judge. I can only determine. I'm a trauma professional, so I talk it through. But you have EMDR. EMDR helps with PTSD, triggers, sleep, stress. And you just have to vet them. You have to talk to them. There's nothing wrong with talking. It don't mean you don't have no problem with firing a therapist, and you don't have to do it in a nasty way. But, but there's nothing wrong. Yes, CBT, there's nothing wrong. One shoe does not fit all. Trust you, me. I actually thank you so much. But one shoe does not fit all. So you have to find that therapist. Sometimes people try. Sometimes I have been there. I have been like their last hope. And then a lot of times people have gotten bad taste in their mouth for therapists. So I end up paying the price for a lot of the therapists that they had a hard time with, or I might be their first experience, with therapy, period. And so you just have to keep shopping around until you find someone that fits with you. And a therapist, normally they should be finding, a therapist also vets their clients to determine whether or not they're a good fit for them. And there have been people that I have decided not to take on as clients. We have that choice just like you have that choice. So you have to find someone that you feel, when you feel like, okay, this might work, and you try it. And if not, like, hey, I don't think this is working. Let me see someone else. Find someone else. Yep. Nobody worth that much trauma. Yep. Absolutely. Well, y'all, my time is up. I have something else I have to do when I come off camera. So I appreciate all of you guys being here with me. You guys remember October 24th, which is this coming up. Oh, excuse me. This coming up Saturday. Excuse me, I'm tired. I have like 1 minute and 55 seconds left on my Instagram, but I just want you guys to know, calling all empaths, October 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, and I'm her guest, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Make sure you go to yourdestinyhelper.com and register. It's an $80 fee. It's 4 hours. Thank you so much. It's 4 hours. So you guys make sure that you're there. If you think you're an empath, you want to know what an empath is so that you can get an understanding. And the best way that, oh, you can watch it again. But the best way to understand what an empath is to hear a super empath talk about being an empath. I'm not the empath, but if you go and listen to Helen Sadler that day of the conference, Destiny Helper, the best way to learn is from a person that has mastered it. And she is a super empath. And so you guys listen, you guys go find out what you are, what level of empath you are. What does it feel like? What to expect? And so I'm going to cut the camera off over here on Instagram because it's getting ready to cut off anyway. And then I'll finish out on my YouTube and my Facebook. So thank you guys so much on Instagram for being here with me. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. My book is Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. You can find it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And then you guys go and be great. Thank you. And if you need counseling, go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. You get a 10% discount. Go to counseling first before you go to coaching. betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining me here on Instagram. And you guys go and be great. All right, let me turn this off. All righty. Give me just a minute. Oops. Give me just a moment. Hold on, y'all. Me and Instagram. This is new for me, y'all. All righty. All righty. There we go. Okay, let me turn that one off. So let me talk to y'all. All righty. So I'm getting ready to get off, y'all. So remember, calling all empaths, conference, yourdestinyhelper.com, register, get in there. So 4 hours, y'all. 4 hours. Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, and I will be her guest that evening, that morning. Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Some of you guys need counseling. Make sure you go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. Yeah, Dr. Carmen. And they will give you a 10% discount. And if you're having financial issues, let them know. And they will also assist you with a grant. Some of you guys need to go to counseling before you go to coaching. Some of you guys have psychological problems and emotional problems that you need to deal with before you get to a coach. Sometimes, and I'm not saying all coaches, but a lot of time coaches cross over into counseling and they can get, they get into our mental health. They get into mental health areas where they don't belong. And then they start giving you advice about mental health. And sometimes the information that they're giving you an opinion. And so they need to know, a lot of times coaches cross over into an area that they are not well versed in. And they can give out some bad information. And a lot of times I have people come to me and then they tell me what a coach says. And I have to ask, is that coach a licensed clinical therapist, or is that, boarded or licensed in any state? They say no. I'm like, well, the information is garbage. because unless they have been to school, done a practicum, are licensed and held at the highest level of license with the license board, then the information that they're giving you about mental health is garbage, and they need to stick to coaching. So it's not a problem with you vetting coaching. So those of you that are interested in coaching with me, you're welcome to email me. Thank you so much. You are welcome to email me, and it's here, Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com, and I will send you my fees for coaching. You got my skin's just peeling. I'm sorry. My little face and broke out. My skin peeling. All right, my bad, y'all. But so those of you that want coaching, just email me, Dr. Carmen Bryant. You're welcome, Karen. Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com, and I will send you my coaching fees. I cannot provide you with counseling outside of the state of Washington. That's where you use the BetterHelp.com/Carmen, and then you can get a discounted rate for counseling. So thank you guys so much for being here. And Miss Tasha, Miss Demetria Fields, she is Natasha's Touch. This is from her collection. This is from her. You guys know I like these stones right here. So all I need now is the pink one. I need the pink stone. So I got the blackish one. I got the clear one. I got a red one, and she's got a pink one. I need to get a pink one, and I think you got some other colors, some blue. I get some pink and blue. So you guys make sure, because usually she comes on right after me. Are you coming on this evening, Tasha? Well, Karma, I don't believe in. I'm not into spiritualism, so I'm a believer, so I don't believe in cleansing out spirits or anything, but I do believe in prayer, and I do believe speaking into an atmosphere. So I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. I know everybody does not believe the same way I believe, and so I'm usually careful at giving people advice like that. So be careful when you give people advice like that. A lot of people are not into spiritualism like that, mysticism or, that kind of stuff a lot of times. So I'm not myself. I am not. I don't believe in going in and cleansing out demons or anything, but I do believe in prayer and binding and loosing stuff, according to my biblical belief and my principles that I follow. So you don't cleanse out spirits and demons. You speak to them and cast them out. They cast out, not cleansed out. So, but that is a whole different conversation. So, Miss Tasha, are you coming on this evening? Will you be coming on this evening, Tasha? Let's see if she's coming on this evening. Only she comes on right after me. Miss Tasha, are you coming on? Can you put your information? Oh, your makeup is off? Oh, Tasha. All right, well, she's not coming on tonight, but you guys make sure it's Natasha's Touch. Put your information on both of the sites for me, and so I can get off. Yes. Can you come see me personally in Washington? I'm not taking any walk-in clients. All my services are done online. And if you come to Washington, or you can't come to Washington to get counseling because you don't have insurance out of state, but if you come in for counseling, that would be that'll be an appointment set for coaching. But I only do online. I don't have anybody coming in my office at this time. So no one is coming in my office at this time. So everything is online. NatashaStouch.com. Natasha's Cut. You need the queen hoops? She need the queen hoops. Uniquely Made says she need the queen hoops. So NatashaStouch.com. Make sure you go check out her jewelry. This is a piece. This is a piece right here. And I got to get some other colors like the pink. I think Apostle got the pink. So I got to get pink and I think some other colors. Yeah, those are your favorites. Yeah. Your makeup is done. Good girl. All right, y'all. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all your help. I appreciate who listening. But I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for being here. Absolutely. Yeah, nobody come in my office right now. I don't have anybody. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I always enjoy coming to talk to you. It's an honor and a privilege so much. Thank you so much to my moderators. I think the only person we were missing was Telsha. And where is New Dawn Rises? I didn't see him tonight. So you two were the only two moderators here. I guess they done grewed it up, huh? They done grewed it up. Thank you guys so much. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much. Courtesy Miss Natasha's Touch. Thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful evening, you guys. I'll see you this week as much as I can. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful evening. You guys go be great. I will. Thank you so much.